Hi, I'm Margaret and welcome to Garden School. Today I wanted to talk about a house plant that is a beautiful bloomer and it's pretty easy to propagate too. I wanted to talk about the Hoyas. This is Hoya carnosa. It's a vining Hoya. And you can see one of the flower clusters here. The flowers, this is also called wax flower. You can see that the little flowers are very thick and waxy-like. Sometimes they'll have a little bit of a drop of nectar on them. The leaves are also very thick. The Hoyas are semi-succulents, and so these fleshy leaves will hold a lot of moisture. They don't need to be watered very often, especially in the winter. So it's best to permit them to go pretty dry between waterings. Here's a little tiny flower cluster that's going to bloom. Now this particular plant, Hoya carnosa, right here, has 8 different flower blooms on it. Some are in very different states, so that one is wide open, and then here's one that's going to start. A couple of them have bloomed out already, but that's really, really cool. Now, the flowers will bloom. Let's look at this stub right here. The flowers bloom on the old bloom stub from before, so you would never want to prune that back. Well, if you pruned that back, you would lose your flower. So that's where the flower buds will continue to form and develop. Now, a sunny window is a perfect location for a Hoya. They don't need to be watered very often, and this is quite a large, this is a vining variety, and it will grow upright and climb along things. And this is a pretty large plant, and it's in a relatively small pot, and I permit the soil to dry out and then I'll give it a water. If you notice that the leaves are a little shriveling, that's probably the time to water it. Especially in the winter time, you would want to make sure that you're not overwatering. Now, when this one blooms, the fragrance from the blossoms is just outstanding. And especially notice the fragrance at night. You can see how waxy and how thick the flowers are themselves. How beautiful that is. Now here is another species of Hoya. This is Hoya bella. The leaves are much smaller than Hoya carnosa, and also the growth pattern is different. So it has branches that come out and then they will cascade down. So it's more of a hanging basket plant. These branches can get up to 3 feet long. Now the flower is not quite the same as the Bella carnosa. This is more of a flat spray of the waxy flowers, but you can see how similar they look. Now, someone has asked me to make a cutting of this, and these are pretty easy to do. So what I'm going to do here to do the cutting is I'm just going to take this branch here that's dividing into two, and it's one of the longer ones. I'm going to cut one of these off right at the join here, right where it divides, and take off the bottom set of leaves and just put it in water. Now you'll see when I made that cut, I have a white, like a latex, that's oozing from the cut and from where I removed the leaves. There's a little bit that's on the counter there. I'm going to wipe that off for sure. And I would guess if you have any sensitivity to latex type of thing, to make sure you're wearing gloves. But I'll just clean that up. And then I have a little container. I'm just going to put that in there and make sure that the end can stay in the water. I might remove a couple more sets of leaves so that there's enough room down in the water there. And I would guess that in a week, 2 weeks, I should see some roots there on this little cutting. So I'm just going to place this here in the window, the sunny window, same window that this Hoya Bella is hanging in. And that way I could watch it, make sure that we're getting some progress on the roots so that I can give that to my friend. Well, if you're interested in starting a Hoya, check out your nursery or your houseplant supply place for a Hoya carnosa, the large leaf variety, or Hoya Bella, the small leaf variety. And there are other Hoyas too. There's a crinkly leaf one. There are leaves that have variegation and different shapes too. But anyway, I hope you're able to do that or find a friend and ask for a cutting. Pretty easy to do. And then enjoy this beautiful blooming houseplant, the Hoya. Well, there's always more to learn in the garden. Bye-bye.